So I'm a little bit late to the party on this one. I do I do realize it is currently Monday, the 10th of November here. This game released Thursday last week, and I usually play new games on a release. But I've been a little bit occupied lately, and I haven't exactly had the chance to get to this. Oh, difficulty. Ooh, very hard. I guess that's why I played Age of Calamity on. That's what I'll play here. The reason being, the past 2 days, I've been awake for 32, or I had been awake for 32 hours. I haven't continued to be awake for 32 hours. I have slept since yesterday because the other day was the 24-hour Cherry Stream 13 on the West Edmonton Mall ice rink here, which kind of fell at a little bit of a weird time for me. It would have worked better if it was next weekend, but it was this past weekend, so it was like, yeah, I gotta get there, gotta do stuffs. We ended up playing Metal Gear Solid 4. So here I am at like 11:30 a.m. on the West Ed ice rink. And yeah, played a whole lot of Metal Gear Solid 4, which took me right until the end of the event. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel now as well. That's definitely my least favorite of all of them. I was failing against the final boss a decent bit at the last second, and then I managed to beat the game in time. This is the first time I've actually failed a 24-hour cherry stream. It's a 23-hour, 50-minute charity stream. By no fault of my own. They wrapped up the event. I was the last person there still going. They let me finish up the final cutscene, luckily, and then I just wrapped it up immediately. If I was here at home, I'd keep on pushing for like the last 9-something minutes. 9 minutes, 13 seconds. But everything else was already dismantled. So, top 10 lies in video game history, the fact that this event didn't actually go for 24 hours. But I did what I could. I failed my 24-hour cherry stream. I did succeed in beating Metal Gear Solid 4 on hard difficulty, right at literally the last moment with how long the final cutscene goes on. So I am a little bit exhausted. So after I got home yesterday at 2 p.m., I went immediately to sleep, and then I woke up at 3 a.m. this morning. Then I was up for a few hours, then I went to sleep for a few hours, then I was up for a few hours, then I went to sleep for a few hours. I've been in and out of sleep all day today. And while Age of Calamity released just before this, Age of Calamity released on November 6th here, and then I was doing this event from the 8th to the 9th here. I was busy that day because I ended up making a Python script that would punish me saying banned words, where Mythic here banned the word alright, which I said a lot. Then I would press the punishment button, and it would randomly boot up a different game. So, like, my script would say, no items, Fox only, final destination. Then it would boot me right into Smash Melee into immediately a Fox 1v1 match with a level 9 CPU. And Pepsi Man was another one. There was a decent few different games. There was 10 different games that it could boot me into. So that was something else that took a little bit of my time, was the fact that I was being randomly booted into different games when I said banned words. So I was spending these 2 evenings with the choice, do I stream the new release, or do I make a really crazy unhinged Python code that'll do this for this event stream? So I did that. So that was why I didn't stream Age of Imprisonment right when it came out, because that was my choice. I didn't even have enough time to do all the coding stuff that I wanted to do, but I managed to get like 10 games done. And, it worked okay-ish. It kind of bugged out a little bit. I had a lot of technical issues over there. So I'm a little bit exhausted. I'm decently dizzy today. So I took the day off work. I was very grateful to my boss letting me take the day off work today. It's a stat holiday tomorrow. It's a Remembrance Day, so, I have time into the evening tonight as well, but there is a chance I'm going to get too dizzy, especially with the fast-paced nature of this game. So this stream might not go on for too long. Also, I'm far from done editing all the Metal Gear Solid 4 stuff. Maybe I should have wrapped up more of that before I started here, but whatever. I'm already late to the party here, so I may as well get on top of things here. Are my sound effects delayed? My capture card might be bugging out a little bit. Let's turn it off and on again. That usually fixes it, just in case it is. Yeah, now it seems like it's in sync. Alright, I should be good. I could go ahead and put very hard in my stream title. It's what I played Age of Calamity on. That's what I'll play this on. Next, begin with these settings. You can change them later. Yeah! I won't lie, you sounded miserable that Cherry stream. Like, it was hard to watch at times. Yeah, I was. I was really, really struggling with some of the levels there, and I was getting really, really beat. My worst is when I was in like the final act, so act 5 right at the beginning. That's when I was at my lowest point on that ship, struggling with what felt like an impossible level that I eventually managed to cheese my way through. But I was really destroyed. I don't think I felt as bad as the 24-hour Cherry Shroom 11, the pinball one last year, but I was getting pretty low there. So I got up, I moved around, used the washroom, I went and grabbed some breakfast, some pancakes there, and I actually got a second wind. I actually started feeling a whole lot better after my second wind. And my energy started coming back when I was like, I gotta finish this game now. Got some food in my system, got my body moving around. I felt a little bit better, but leading up to that point, it was a it was a downward spiral. So yeah, anyone watching watching this stream or part of Age of Imprisonment on YouTube after the fact, if you really want to see me suffer, check out my Metal Gear Solid 4 series, which who knows if part 1 of that is going to go up before this. I have a lot of stuff to go through with Metal Gear Solid 4. it I have already cut it up into parts. It's a 35-part series. So it'll be going up over the course of over a month. So, yeah, it went on for a little while. Anyway, Age of Imprisonment here. That's enough about Metal Gear Solid 4 for now. I'm a little bit surprised that this game exists, at the same time not. Just because it's like, hey, we got Breath of the Wild, we got the prequel, sort of, to Breath of the Wild spinoff, and we got Tears of the Kingdom, and now we're getting the prequel to Tears of the Kingdom, and personally, I'm burnt out of the Breath of the Wild train. Like, I kind of want Nintendo to just move on to the next Zelda thing. I know there's been other Zelda things, like 2D with Echoes of Wisdom, which I actually really didn't like. I thought Echoes of Wisdom was a really bad game. That's neither here nor there. You know about that from that playthrough. But in terms of 3D Zelda, I kind of want them to move on to the next thing here. This is they're staying on this storyline for quite some time. What is going on here, man? And, you know, Breath of the Wild, I generally liked it as a game. I found a lot of problems with its storytelling. Namely, the fact that the story had already happened, and you just kind of go around hearing about it in whatever order. Then when Hyrule Warriors came out, I was like, oh, we actually get to experience this story, and it actually is, like, pretty interesting. I'm actually digging it. So I actually liked Age of Calamity a lot more than I thought I would. And then Tears of the Kingdom came out, and I was like, okay, this is a sequel to Breath of the Wild. Surely they actually have to tell a story in the present now. Like, there's no way that they can tell a story in the past again. They found a way to pull it out of their ass and tell a story in the past again. So just like Breath of the Wild, once again, it was a story that already happened. Just like Breath of the Wild, it was a story about how they failed to defeat Ganon, or Ganondorf in this context, and Link has to finish the job. Like, they just copied Breath of the Wild's homework and made it look different. So, you know, I had fun with the gameplay and all that. Like, it's still a fun game. I thought that the world could have been different, it literally being the exact same world, along with sky islands that were more like puzzles in the sky and not like actual sky islands that you explored outside of the starting one. Something that kind of ticked me off. The depths were kind of cool, but once you've seen a little bit, you've seen it all. So I had my issues with Tears of the Kingdom, but I generally had fun with the gameplay. I'm gonna turn up the sound here a little bit.
Disturbance in the forest.
I thought he was gonna say force for a second there.
The shades here should be sealed.
So, the fact that they literally did Breath of the Wild again, where it's like, the story has already happened, go just find out about it in whatever order, instead of actually telling a story in the events of the game itself. Like, I did kind of like piecing together the mystery when you get that aha moment of, oh, that's where Zelda is. Like, that did actually lead to a cool aha moment there. That felt like you would come to a great revelation kind of figuring it out.
It's okay.
And realize that she'd been there all along. Like, that was cool. That part I liked, but, you know, I kind of wanted to actually experience a story in the present. And the fact that what came before is basically Breath of the Wild again, where it's like they tried to defeat Ganon, but they fail. It doesn't exactly have me hyped for this story. Again, I'm sure it'll be like Age of Calamity, where I like it more than I thought I would have at first.
We are the king and queen.
But I will tell you right now that if I wasn't a content creator, I would not be picking up this game. Even as a content creator, my game schedule is getting so... Oh yeah, my sound effects are live. Mythic just redeemed Quack. Let's turn that off for cutscenes.
My name is Rauru. King Rauru of Hyrule.
Yeah, I was even debating about not picking it up as is, because my game schedule is getting so insanely tight that I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish everything I want to finish before the end of the year. I might put off the last Assassin's Creed Valhalla DLC until early next year, just because I don't think I genuinely don't think I'll have the time to do it this year, so we'll see what things are going like. I'm currently in progress of Pokemon Legends ZA, Ghosts of
You
Yote,
clearly had quite a day
technically
today.
Assassin's Creed Valhalla as
Would
well,
you
and
be
now
willing
this
to
game.
tell us what happened?
And then in a week and a half from now, Kirby Air Riders releases, and then 2 weeks after that, Metroid Prime 4
Intriguing.
releases. So, like, I've got my
So
hands
you,
full
the
here.
Princess Zelda of
So,
Hyrule, and your
yeah,
loyal attendant were investigating deep beneath the castle's grounds.
things are a little bit tight right now
There,
with me
you
working full
discovered
time.
murals illustrating the ancient
But yeah,
days
if
of
I
your
wasn't a
kingdom.
content creator, even though I enjoyed Age of Calamity, I probably wouldn't pick up this game. I would probably take the time to check out reviews and be like, hey, is it worth it? It'll probably still be fun
man's
gameplay like
awakening
Age of
caused the
Calamity.
earth
If
beneath
the
your
music
feet
is
to
anything like
crumble.
Age of Calamity, the soundtrack is probably going to be sick. I
Then lost
loved the
consciousness
soundtrack of
amidst
Age
the
of Calamity.
chaos.
It's probably one of my favorite Zelda
You found
soundtracks.
yourself
So
here with
good.
us.
So much better than the non-existent soundtrack of Breath of the Wild. And this will probably be a much better soundtrack than the non-existent soundtrack of Tears of the Kingdom. So I am looking forward to the
say it's
music,
an
and I'll
easy
probably
tale
listen to
to
a bunch of it on
accept.
my own time.
Yet you do
But-
bear that secret stone.
But yeah, like, I get the gist. They tried to defeat Ganon in an
Perhaps
even earlier time
you
period, and they
truly have
failed.
traveled back in time.
And it features all these... Like, and it's not even going to feature as many characters from Tears of the Kingdom that I would know. Pretty much just like
Let's
Sonia,
leave
Rauru,
such
and Zelda
topics for
here.
later. Zelda, dear.
Oh, and Minoru.
Why don't we take a look around
And then there's like...
to see if you recognize
They're not
anything?
called the champions, whatever they're called with in
Right.
Tears of the Kingdom. Where it's like they had masks, you had no sense of who they were all just like masked, generic seeming characters in freaking Tears of the Kingdom there. They all seemed like they could be just generic subbins for all these respective races. They didn't really have personalities like Breath of the Wild had with the champions. So,
Let us first make for
you know, I'm
Hyrule
sure that
Castle.
they're important characters in
The
this
plateau it
game,
rests
those
upon
head
should give you
honchos
a
from each
fine
of the
lay of
races,
the
but you know, I'm not as intrigued to learn more about them like I would have been with the champions in Breath of the Wild and to going to Age of Calamity. But, yeah, I don't know. I'm sure that I'll get a kick out of this game in some ways, but, you know, it just doesn't really have enough of a premise to get me to get into it at face value. But
Then let us
there's probably a good chance it'll be like Age of Calamity where I'm pleasantly surprised and like, whoa, you know, because that's kind of the way I was with that game. So, we shall see. And hello, Anima, how you doing? You are not late at all. You know, I forgot this game was out. I think most people did. So it probably doesn't matter that much that I'm late to the party with this game, because I think most people forgot this game was out. If I didn't write it down in like my game schedule channel, like that's what I do is I have this channel in the Discord server where I guess I can take this off the game schedule here. I write down all the upcoming new games I plan on playing. Oh, Display Capture 2 is, yeah, it's rigged up differently because I was dicking around with different monitors at Extra Life was the reason there. Yeah, I guess I can take these off now. Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment in November 8th, 24-hour cherry shoot. There, I can take that off. I have this both so that like people can check it out and know like what things are coming up that I plan on playing. Is half the reason, but the other half of the reason is for myself. I keep in mind like what things are upcoming. I check it from time to time so that I know what things I have to keep in mind that I have to make time for coming up. Because if I didn't have that, I would have forgotten this game was coming out. It's literally only because I write it down that I know when things are coming out. Otherwise, I would have forgotten. And there have been times I checked that and I was like, oh yeah, that's a game that was coming out. But I'm sure that most people probably forgot that this game was coming out. I'm sure some people probably forgot this game exists. Hot take, I don't read it, the schedule channel. It's not a hot take.
Welcome back, Your Majesty.
I'm definitely the one that checks it the most, and it's a very, very useful tool for me. But yeah, quack sound, best sound, truly. Your sound effects are back on. Didn't know it was a thing until it was mentioned in the charity stream. Seriously, I mostly zone out when The Legend of Zelda shows up in a direct. Wow, now that's a more hot take. There's people who'd get mad about that one, I think. Oh, it's the nano machines, as we learned in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Stand back.
This is what some Americans think vaccines do to you. Just had that pop into my mind because I said that same thing during Metal Gear Solid 4, so the same stupid thought appeared in my head again. What? Nice exorcism.
gathering.
What are they?
I forget what the name of the race that Rauru belongs to is,
They're appearing even here.
but I generally like their designs, but it always throws me off how short their legs are and how long their torsos are.
The light Zelda. Use its power.
What? Hey, just give me a lightsaber?
Quickly, just as you did a moment ago.
The power of light?
Maybe she completely forgot to use all her light powers from Breath of the Wild and Age of Calamity. Considering she was kind of shielding herself and not going on an offensive. I actually have a weapon that I definitely would not have had otherwise. We literally get a lightsaber. A shorter lightsaber. Only Legend of Zelda games I actually kind of like are Four Swords Anniversary Edition DSiWare and Link Between Worlds, the 3DS one. Link Between Worlds is pretty good. Okay, so now combat. This is so dang short. The hilt is longer than the blade. What the hell? Does it get longer as I... Oh, I'm doing light powers here. Yeah, so regular attack. See different combos and stuff. It is throwing me off how short it is, but... Okay. And 1, 2, 3. That's a nice little AoE thing there. But yeah. Okay, Four Swords DSi was the only Zelda game I liked. I'm doing a stream to a whole bunch of non-Zelda fans right now. I see. Yeah, so same kind of controls that I'm used to with stuff here. And, yeah, so I start on a walk. If I hold it, yeah, I run. Typical control stuff there. Okay, I gotcha. Do some more of this stuff here. Okay. So that's kind of like Link's Combo 3 from the original Hyrule Warriors, where it sends out a beam. Is what that is. Orbs. Maybe that would be a good single target one. I don't know. It's not as good in AoE. This one seems to be a really good AoE. I see that we're using the same kind of UI as Age of Calamity, which makes sense. Our little character eyes on the left. And I assume that we'll be able to switch characters there. Four Swords DSi was fantastically. Unfortunately, it was a digital-only times release. Yeah, that's how it went. Meanwhile, my younger sibling is a massive Breath of the Wild era fan. Yeah, so I've heard. When it comes to them just doing a whole bunch of Breath of the Wild stuff endlessly here. I remember during the Direct saying, like, hey, you know, to each their own, but genuinely, who was actually hyped for the 4th game in the Breath of the Wild universe? And you're saying that they were really hyped for it. I was like, okay, well, yeah, to each their own here, but, you know, here's the Kingdom being their favorite Zelda game. I will silently judge. No, man, how long do they want you to take out these generic enemies before they decide, okay, you figured out these controls well enough? Autographs from Zelda's voice actor at Fan Expo last year. Definitely very much into that. Here. There. Is it done? Do I have to take them all out? Boop. Them all. Only on Breath of the Wild for collection's sake. And that's the case with most of my Legend of Zelda games. Also, I own it on Wii U and not Switch. Yeah, that's another thing that a lot of people forget exists is Breath of the Wild on the Wii U. It was originally meant to be a Wii U game.
Your Majesty.
And it still is a Wii U
Worry
game.
not.
We are 3 consoles in then, and we're still on the Breath of the Wild
shades
story
here are
instead of
gone.
moving on to
You
something
will
different.
see they remain
Wii
the
U,
same.
Switch, Switch 2, and we still haven't done something different with 3D Zelda. How unbelievable is that? Now that you're mentioning Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, it's occurring to me. How are we 3 consoles in, and we're still not done with the Breath of the Wild story? Can't just move on to something else. I'm sure that this is probably the last
For
one,
Sky and earth,
but
light shall
if the
prevail
next
over
3D
evil.
Legend of Zelda game is still in the Breath of the
Holy
Wild
light,
universe,
Smile upon our
I
people
might just not get it.
forevermore.
Like, honestly.
Sacred power. Incredible. You must be exhausted after all that.
Not nearly as much as in days past. Now that I have Sonia's assistance, the power of the shrines can hold for much longer than before. Truth be told, she aids me more than she knows.
In any case, the shades in the area should be contained.
They're called shades? Are we playing Nier Replicant?
Now then, Zelda. Shall we make our way to the castle?
Please.
The others have gone ahead to secure our route to the castle. I suggest we join them when we're able.
It's sort of a Legend of Zelda game, and doesn't even have Legend of Zelda in the title when Zelda's actually the main character. In this, not quite for once. There was always echoes of wisdom and stuff. Also, on Twilight Princess on Wii and Skyward Sword on Wii paid less than $20 each. Yeah, I think I paid like 20 bucks Canadian for Twilight Princess there. I think I got Skyward Sword when it was relatively new. I paid more for that. Around $15. And Skyward Sword is the anniversary edition release with the soundtrack CD. I have that too. That was pretty cool. I remember popping that CD into my computer and downloading the music off of it and listening to it. I think there was a time that my dad was putting together a big playlist of a whole bunch of music that was just on, like, some computer in the household. So, you hear a lot of his music, and then you'll randomly have Skyward Sword music come on that I put on some computer so many years ago. Right in the middle of his, like, classic rock music, there'll be, like, random orchestral Skyward Sword music that comes on that I would have put on there as a kid. Not in his playlist. I don't know why he put that on there. But I guess he was just grabbing, like, all music that was on some computer.
Hyrule Castle? And we're at the Great Plateau, birthplace of our kingdom. All my studies have spoken of precisely this. Then, that must mean this really is the past. Hyrule. When the Zonai, who descended from the heavens, joined hands with the Hylians, who dwelled on the surface, their union led to a great and prosperous kingdom. But in time, a terrible evil arose. A war was fought to vanquish this evil, one which future generations would call the Imprisoning War.
Part of me is kind of surprised that it's called Age of Imprisonment and not Age of Imprisoning. Wouldn't that sound a little bit cooler? Age of Imprisoning? I don't know, maybe it's just me.
Oh, this one's just as eye-catching as the last. But I don't know, maybe blue's more your kind of color.
Please, all this fussing really isn't necessary.
Nonsense, my lady. You're Her Majesty's royal kin, and what's royalty without the garments to match it?
If you insist. Well then, how about this?
I think it's wonderful.
What is this character model?
Now forget all that.
It looks like an Animal
Go
Crossing
home.
character, super
I
hit the
vote you
gym.
Stay right here for the rest of forever.
You know I can't do that.
Oh, and today's your first time meeting Lady Minoru, yes? Nobody else has the brains that she does. Uh-huh. If anyone will have answers, it's her.
Thank you, Lenalia.
She's built like Spider-Verse Kingpin.
Just what is this? My word, it moves almost as if it's actually alive.
Is this your first time seeing a construct? You've not graced my study in quite a while, Rauru. And is this the girl?
As you may know, she seeks a means of returning to her own time. Minoru, could you lend her your wisdom?
Pleased to make your acquaintance. My name is Zelda. As I hear, I'm a very distant descendant. It's an honor to meet you, my lady.
Call me Minoru, please. And the honor is all mine, Zelda.
There's like a weird grain over the cutscenes that makes them look like they're pre-rendered.
Now to the matter at hand.
I don't know if
Can
I'm
you
the
tell
only
me
one that feels
exactly
that
what
way.
happened to you?
I don't know if they are, but
Yes, I'd be glad to.
it just kind of feels like it.
No need to hide your interest. Take a closer look, if you'd like.
Maybe that's why this game is like 46 gigs or something like that.
Machinery. Though I must say, this construct is different in so many ways. Would you mind if I made a record of this?
Please, go ahead.
Oh.
And what's that?
It's called a Purapad. A friend of mine made it for me.
It's a
capable
Wii
of
U
creating
gamepad.
vivid depictions of any landscape or object you wish to chronicle.
Actually, looks more like
And
the
it
Switch.
used to do even more than that. Before I found myself here in this era.
Was it a different
Would
pad that
you
you had in
willing
Tears
to
of the
let me
Kingdom than Breath of the
examine it?
Wild?
It may prove useful in my studies.
Of course.
Because, yeah, it was the Sheikah slate in Breath of the Wild, and that would have been modeled off of the gamepad, right?
Well,
I knew this would happen.
can you explain how it works exactly? What empowers it to move like that?
You see, constructs.
Well, I mean, if it has to load, maybe they're not pre-rendered. And you would think basic cutscenes like this wouldn't have to be pre-rendered. But yeah,
As Zelda and Minoru discussed construct technology, the two
they have an
quickly
overlay
realized they
that
had a great deal in
makes it
common.
feel like they're pre-rendered.
Minoru
Maybe
also
they were
took
because
a
it did that
keen
whole, like,
interest in Zelda's
over-the-area
build
shot before
and offered
snapping
to
right
do
in.
her
I don't
best
know.
to restore some of its built-in functionality.
Switch 2 could probably handle that without pre-rendering it. Oh, I can press wide auto
Alas,
advance.
Minoru was at a loss when it came to returning
There.
Zelda to her own era. She did, however, share her knowledge of draconification.
She shares that immediately?
Secret stone transforms a person into an
Yeah, I
eternal
don't know how you can get to your time. Oh, by the way, did you know that you can swallow one of these stones to turn into an ancient dragon? Pretty sick, right?
Zelda found herself unsure of how to proceed. But after a few words of encouragement from Rauru, she decided to speak with Sonia to learn more about the Queen's ability to manipulate time.
Also, wasn't her learning that she can turn into an eternal dragon like a super key plot point in Tears of the
So,
Kingdom?
Lady Zelda,
So they don't even do that in a
is
proper
delightful
cutscene
at
here.
the
They do it in a
castle?
the little.
Yes,
By the way,
each day
Minoru
has
told
been
her
more
this
wonderful than the
screen.
last.
It's kind of lame.
I've already learned a great many things from King Rauru and Queen Sonia, of course. But nothing
Yeah, and I guess
compares to
jumping across
Minoru's
scenes like this, it would
incredible
benefit it to
research.
be pre-rendered.
To think I would find myself
But yeah, these
riding
cutscenes
a
kind of have a film over them
construct.
that makes it feel like they're pre-rendered. I don't know how to describe it.
Well, I'm glad one of us was happy about
And seeing
it.
stuff like this, I am thinking they probably are pre-rendered.
Ever since you arrived, it's just been one eventful day after the next.
It has been? What's happened so far?
Remember when His Majesty snuck off from his duties?
Oh, I guess we're
and
finding
we were
out.
foolish enough to join him?
That's where Sonia gets Falcon punched.
It
Anyway,
wasn't
yeah.
long until Queen Sonia found us. And she certainly wasn't happy when she did.
I'm going to go into this game assuming anyone watching is familiar with the story of Tears of the Kingdom. At least ish.
Now, after you, my lady.
Some parts of it are probably blanks in my own memory. That one guy has a sick helmet. No one else has one like that.
That is what we call an envoy mask.
Envoy.
Yes. Each depicts one of the sacred beasts that guard our kingdom. Divine protectors we Hylians have worshipped since long ago. When the Zora, the Rito, and now the Gorons forged their pacts with Hyrule, we presented their leaders with one of those masks, proof of our alliance and the trust we bear for one another.
Sacred beasts. Even at this early stage, it's clear that Hyrule is on good terms with the other leaders. Though, what of the Gerudo?
What indeed? To be honest, we had hoped to join hands with them as well. But their desert tribes have begun to encroach on neighboring lands, in search of more fertile territory to call home. In times past, there was no shortage of Gerudo voices seeking cooperation with the continent at large. But those voices have grown far weaker of late. And I expect them to stay as such, given the Gerudo's current chieftain, the only male born to their tribe in the past 100 years. Now then, it's time for your training. Rauru mentioned he'll be joining us as well. Show him your best, Zelda.
I will.
It's not fully voice acted. Time for your mock battles arrive, Zelda. Now come. Let's see if you can best my soldiers. I'll be your first opponent today. I'm sure this fight will be a real thrill if it's against you. He looks kind of nervous there. I'm here as well, Zelda. Why don't we show my husband what great strides you've made of late? Okay, Typhon. Defeat Typhon. Okay, well. I don't know. Yeah, I know. I know how to do this. But yeah. Is that not a somewhat reasonable thing to do, though? They hunger and want farmland, but their land is sand. It's just kind of sand everywhere there. Is there a way that I can kind of get past your guard here? I don't know. You're even stronger than I expected. He's just going to stand there and take it, I guess. Yeah, but Ganon's evil, so they gotta be wrong. True. I mean, you could just make the argument that they could, like, ask nicely and be like, hey, can we trade with you some of your guys' crops for our, I don't know, sand? What comes out of the Gerudo desert and stuff? Maybe they make a whole bunch of sick weapons. Unique skills. Unique skill R hold, and then it's a face button. So this will be kind of like the whatever it was in Breath of the Wild / Age of Calamity. The things where it was like bombs, magnesis, cryonis, whatever those were called. The Sheikah Slate skills, something or other. Unique skills are powerful attacks exclusive to each character. Oh, hitting a powerful enemy with one will make them vulnerable. So it's not shared across things. So characters are going to have a lot more unique moveset stuff to them in this game. After using a unique skill, you need to wait a bit before you can use another. A gauge will be displayed showing how long you have to wait. Hitting enemies with regular strong attacks will fill the gauge more quickly. Okay. They just want some food and water. Jesus. No, they're bad. Okay, so it forces a weak point, kind of like using the stabs in Age of Calamity. Okay. Breath of the Wild era art style grow on me. Yeah, I like the art style of it too. Kind of a mesh of like Skyward Sword and Wind Waker kind of style. I do definitely like the art style of these games. But yeah, wow. Relying on another nation for food basically means they own you. If you do something they don't like, your food get cuts off. That's true too. Maybe they could have just asked, be like, hey, can we just permanently have some land and we'll like give you guys weapons over time or something like that? I don't know. They just want to farm, goddammit. That is how they mark their villain. Lighting used to bother me a lot, but now it looks less flashbangy. Used to be flashbangy there. When a powerful enemy is about to unleash a dangerous attack, it'll glow with a red aura. Oh, it's just like Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Use unique skills or other special actions corresponding to the type of attack to interrupt it. Use unique skills against charging enemies. Well, it's a good thing it's recharged here. Okay. Will that be my best one for whittling down the thing? I have no idea. Who knows? Maybe. Well, yeah, this is gonna be the story about how we seal away Ganondorf for whatever, like thousands of years or something like that, all because he wanted to farm. Ganon Dad just wanted to live a simple farmer life and be able to feed his people. That'll be quite the story here, huh? Farmer Dorf. That's what it's gonna be here. Can't wait to see this story play out. Here. Draw a triangle. Okay. I don't know, maybe that's a good one for whittling down weak point gauges. Maybe. I should be trying to get the flurry rush timing. I don't know. Okay, I'm not quite getting the flurry rush timing, but that's fine. Oh, draw on him. Point with the Wii remote to draw on him. Okay, I dodged way too early for being able to get the flurry rush timing. What is going on with the camera? Why has it gotten jittery? Maybe it had to do with me being close to the wall because it doesn't seem as jittery now. It's kind of weird. Kind of a bit weird there. Like the light knife moveset. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. A knife rather than a sword, huh? Oh, I need to do the other one against the charging enemy. Yeah, it's interesting. And we'll see how it shapes up once we actually unlock crazier combos and stuff. We'll see what ends up going on there. Also, it's crazy to me that there's another Hyrule Warriors game that has come out that I'm playing through before I got the chance to play Persona 5 Strikers. That's been on my little mental game list for a while now. I meant to do it last year, and then I didn't have the time. And then I meant to do it this year, but then this year Persona 3 Reload came out, so that kind of took up my Persona slate for the year. But soon enough-ish when I have the time, we'll see here. Persona 5 Strikers will probably be the next Warriors game that I play on this channel. And it would have been before this if it wasn't for Persona 3 Reload. So, boop. Get beamed. Well, I guess you die now. Oh my god. Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Alright. Oh, well. This seems to be grasping the fundamentals of Zelda. Would you like to review them with a rematch? No! Why is yes the default option? What strength. Victory may be yours, but the pleasure was all mine. What a cool dude. I must say, Zelda, I'm proud to see you putting everything you've learned to such good use. More interested in Hyrule Warriors than the main series of the Warriors games have more RPG elements I like? That's fair. Assuming you were brought to this era by this secret stone amplifying your power over time, then you may be able to find a way home by furthering your understanding of that very power. Yeah, in just the thing. Ah, I almost forgot. I have something for you. A special ration. Solid Snake would be proud. A travel ration prepared by a culinary construct. Use it to recover hearts. Special rations. Display the special actions menu right on the D-pad. Use special rations to restore health. Okay. How do I change which one not currently available? I don't want to use them. Oh, it's just showing what's assigned to what. What's the point of this menu then? Like, and it looks like it's a toggle. I don't have to hold it. I was holding it there. I guess this is just a menu where you can assign it because there are probably more than 4 options later. Is what the purpose of that menu probably is. AI generated food. That is construct lore. Yeah. Didn't cook it. The construct generated it. Hey, ChatGPT, make me a special ration. Well, defeat enemies in an outpost to reduce the outpost gauge. Yeah. I know. I played a whole whack of these games before. Which, speaking of, part of me was debating about doing one or both of the other routes that I was missing in Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, now that Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave is coming out, and now that we know it's another Fodlan game, so the same universe as 3 Houses. So I was debating, like, do I really need the full story of 3 Houses? Should I do the other routes that I'm missing in that I meant to do? Time is a little bit of the essence. So, as I said, I have Pokemon Legends ZA going on, Ghost of Yote, managed to do Metal Gear Solid 4 in one sitting there, so I'm glad that that's done. There's this game that just came out. I did Plants vs. Zombies Replanted that came out. I've had a whole bunch of new games coming out like every 2 weeks for a while now. There was friggin' Plants vs. Zombies Replanted. Then 2 weeks later, this game released. Then 2 weeks after this game releases, Kirby Air Riders releases. And then 2 weeks after that, Metroid Prime 4 releases. And then there was also, on the same day as Metroid Prime 4, Octopath Traveler 0? Or whatever it was called, that I was debating about playing. But I don't think I will, because, like, 1, there's so much stuff going on. 2, I'm really pissed off about the whole game keycard thing that it's stuck on. Because I actually want to have the game on the cartridge that I'm buying. And I've been kind of falling out of love with Team Asino stuff for a while. But even if I'm not getting Octopath Traveler 0, which I don't think I will, this is still a decent bit to be doing. And then there's like the DLC of Assassin's Creed Valhalla that I want to finish off as well. But yeah, with the time remaining in the year of me working full time, I'm going to be a little bit hard-pressed to see this all through, which is why I'm thinking that the final DLC of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, if I'm really pressed for time, it's always my tradition to start, like, the next Assassin's Creed playthrough on January 1st of each year. Mirage, my next game that I have up, is apparently decently short, so it's not like Mirage is going to take me the full year like Valhalla anyway. I'm debating about maybe with the rest of this year, I just finish off the other little side content of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, like the roguelike mode and stuff like that. And then January 1st of next year, I just start Dawn of Ragnarok, the final main DLC. And then I do that for a while, and then I do Mirage later in the year. Apologies, but this is as far as you go. Because another thing that I was debating about doing sooner rather than later was Final Fantasy VII Remake. So this year I ended up playing Final Fantasy VII, I ended up playing Crisis Core, the prequel game, at Fragapalooza this year. And then I ended up playing the sequel game, Dirge of Cerberus, at Hallowland not too long ago. Those uploads are just now wrapping up on YouTube. And I kind of was thinking about special action with that can shoot down enemies from the air. Okay, I gotcha. Well, that sucks for me then. Guess I should really be waiting for... Oh, it's going to give it to me for free now anyway, for tutorial's sake. Nice. So, I was thinking, like, okay, I'll just do, like, Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth next year. Yeah, I watched the movie as well. I did check out Advent Children. It's on YouTube for free. Someone uploaded it. It's fine. So I also put the movie Advent Children in my Final Fantasy VII playlist. So anyone that's looking through my Final Fantasy VII playlist will see the movie as well. So I was thinking about doing Remake and Rebirth next year because Remake came out in 2020 and then Rebirth in 2024. So at first I thought, okay, the final Remake game is probably going to be 2028. But you have to consider that Rebirth was being made during COVID, and apparently the director had said he doesn't want the gap between games to be as long as it was between Remake and Rebirth, between Rebirth and the next game. So there's a good chance that the next game, like the final of the Final Fantasy VII Remake games, will come out in 2027. Which means I should probably do both the Remake and Rebirth next year, 2026, so that if it does come out in 2027, then I'm good. If it comes out in 2028, whatever. I'm still good then. I just want to make sure that I'm good. Like, worst case scenario, I could always wait on playing Rebirth until the third game is actually announced, and I'll probably have time between announcement and release of it to be able to get through it. I don't know. Oh, the orbs stay on the ground and I can explode them later? Wait, hold on. Do that. And then if I do this one, it seems like the orbs are exploding, something like that. So I was like, okay, I'll probably just do those next year to be on the safe side, so if the third game releases in 2027, I'm good. But Final Fantasy VII Remake is also coming to the Switch too. I think it releases January 22nd. It's the day before Janland 2026, which is like the 23rd to the 25th next year. So part of me was debating like, maybe I should start it a little bit sooner because the game might potentially be trending a little bit with it coming to the Switch too. Like, I'll play the PS5 version that I already own, 1, to save money, and 2, probably better performance, and 3, screw the whole game keycard thing that it's exclusive to on Switch 2. So I don't know if other people are gonna feel like me, where their motivation to play Final Fantasy VII Remake on the Switch 2 is just killed by it being a game keycard. But, you know, just in case, maybe I should play Final Fantasy VII Remake a little bit earlier than that, because it's coming to this console here, the Switch 2, and maybe people are gonna be a little bit interested in checking out what Final Fantasy VII Remake is like before that point. So maybe I should play Final Fantasy VII Remake a little bit earlier then. Like, either starting late this year or starting sometime in January, depending on when I have the time. So I was debating about doing that, but I was looking at the compilation of Final Fantasy VII being like, okay, I've done Final Fantasy VII, I've done the prequel, I've done the sequel. Am I good to start the remake games? Is there anything else potentially important story-wise that I should do before that point? And I found out, yes, maybe. On mobile devices and on PC, there is a freemium gacha mobile game called Ever Crisis, which is apparently the medium where you get like the exclusive prequel story of Sephiroth. So I downloaded it on my phone a little while back. I haven't played any of it. I've just been redeeming like the daily login bonuses. Yeah, that's the concern. But the thing is, apparently this game keeps itself going by like special events and stuff that you do, and the actual story content is finite. And apparently just last month, just October, it sounds like the Sephiroth prequel story that's been going on and off for like the past 2 years is actually ended and over now. So if this loads up here, I was debating about potentially doing that first, and this game has been out for 2 years now, so they're releasing as like daily login bonuses these 2-year anniversary weapons that are like nearly maxed out, level 120. Seems like it's meant for new players to be able to hop in and just be able to steamroll the story content and get into it and stuff like that. So wow, all these bonuses that I'm redeeming for the day here. Look, here's my 2-year anniversary daily login friggin' weapons that might be able to be used to like steamroll the story. But yeah, apparently this Sephiroth prequel story, The First Soldier it's called, is exclusive to this freemium gacha mobile game here. And that content might not be too bad. I was thinking about starting it and playing through it. And if it does prove to be something where it does expect you to like super grind to be able to get through it, like the last freemium gacha game I did of Persona 5X, then I'll just get up to the point where it's like, this is getting too grindy, I'm not playing it anymore, I don't have the time for this. And then at least I showcased a little bit of it. But I might just be able to steamroll the story with some of these weapons and just bum rush through it in not much time at all. But I hope you'll honor me with another battle sometime. So, part of me was debating about doing Ever Crisis before a remake. Apparently, some of the storytelling stuff also will play into stuff going on with Sephiroth later in the remake games. So, there might be a slight ounce of importance to it. So it's like, do I do a remake coming up here pretty soon because it's coming out on Switch 2 pretty soon? And now in addition to these new releases that are continuing to come out like every 2 weeks, do I also wedge in Ever Crisis here? This friggin' Final Fantasy VII freemium gacha mobile garbage? So I am losing my mind here and figuring out, do not stay your blade on my account, Zelda. What do I have time for in the midst of all this craziness that I have going on? So yeah, that's what's going on with me, with my game schedule, and why I might not have time for a whole lot of stuff there. Yeah, I do know that it is a new story there, but apparently there is some reveal stuff with Sephiroth that might play into just remake stuff in general. I don't know. We'll see here. So if I have time, maybe I'll do that. There's a chance I won't. I'm getting all these stupid login bonuses on my own time just in case, so that if I do get the chance to hop into it, I could just hop in and just steamroll it and stuff. Yeah, I know that there's a lot of like key points that are still the same and all that. If I buy another game this year, it'll be Digimon Story Time Stranger, but I'm trying to save for our new PC case and a 3D printer, so it's not top of my priority list. That's fair there. That is definitely fair. Yeah, people keep on telling me good things about Digimon Story Time Stranger. I've never played a Digimon game in my life, but it seems like Digimon is the game series that, or just the IP, that comes up the most on this channel that I know nothing about. Is what it very much seems like. Here, just get a few basic hits before that point. Man, our enemies tanky on very hard mode. It was that same way in Age of Calamity as well. So I guess I should have expected that here. But man, our enemies just damage sponges in very hard mode. Like, holy crap. It's definitely one of those games where the hardest difficulty just gives enemies a bazillion HP, I see. Always fun to see that. It's Pokemon's biggest competitor. I know the games are better, but Pokemon and Zekrom, really like Zekrom there. Also, saying games are better than Pokemon doesn't really say much nowadays. Like, to be fair, shiny hunting Zekrom. I wish you the best of luck with the shiny hunt there. I should probably just be doing combo 2. So I should probably be doing when your weak point is exposed. Okay. Come on. Come on, just... I'm doing combo 3 here. Well. There's combo 2. Got the charm, so it's 1 in 100. Oh, are you doing Sword and Shield then? I guess Shield version that you've been playing recently. You've got your 1% chance. with the Dynamax Adventure. I completely forgot the name of it, but was reminded of it just there. Yeah, it takes like 20 minutes to run. Ow. I have to deal with a lot of crap before that point. So it's a little bit of a pain in the butt. Sacred Light. Boop. Freaking cross slash him. Big spins. I'm trying to do the last second dodge here. That's what I'm trying to do. I basically never block in these games. Good solo runs can go fast since you can turn off the animation for solo. That's helpful at least. Yeah, I was just checking to make sure it is still faster to like dodge cancel off attacks. If I just do a attack like that and I mash the button, that's how long it takes before I can actually do a thing again. But if I dodge cancel, yeah, I can keep going at it. So dodge canceling is still definitely going to be the meta in this game, I see. Just making sure. Oh, are we good? She's even stronger than I expected. I'll have to stay on my guard. Phase 2 Rauru. He just turns into like Dark Beast Scanner or something. We're off to a fine start, Zelda. Now let's show him the true depths of our power. Yeah, time to beat the shit out of your husband. I'm ready, Queen Sonia. Sync Strike. Sync Strike. Press L when your sync gauge and nearby allies are full. A Sync Strike is a powerful attack performed by two characters working together. Different character combination will produce different kinds of Sync Strikes. Playing near an ally will gradually fill a character's sync gauge. You can fill the gauge more quickly by performing actions such as interrupting a dangerous attack or by executing a switch attack. L. Oh, the little high five hand touch thing. Charge up my beam sword. Sync Strike with Sonia. Performing a Sync Strike with Sonia will temporarily increase your attack and defense and greatly reduce the cooldown time for unique skills. Press A to perform a finisher. A. Oh, that's my bar up there. Yeah. That did like nothing. Oh, but it did stun you. Not nearly long enough. I guess this is very hard mode. And so if my attack and defense is buffed, is there a part of UI where I can see that on me? It sure doesn't seem like. Here. Yeah, I completely forgot about like the bars. Okay. I don't know. I wonder if there's like certain combos that you can get to force the weak point gauge like there was in Age of Calamity. So you can like factor that in and do like crazy combo stuff. But yeah, Digimon games are good but always flawed. Haven't seen the Time Stranger's flaws yet, but Cyber Sleuths was like playing a really good game but poorly translated and balanced with the obvious PS Vita storage space optimization causing you to go to the same place over and over. But yeah, everything else about Cyber Sleuth is good. I want to emphasize everything else. Yeah, another game that I've heard really good things about. Evidently. People always tell me about these games in my streams. I know nothing about Digimon, but I seem to hear about them all the time. Well. Yeah, pretty cool, man. Oh, that was quite a productive bout, Zelda. How do you feel about sparring again? No! That takes so long! My god. Yeah, these are totally pre-rendered, aren't they? It's only in this game that we see these characters' faces, then. A Graston, Goron Chief.
Do you mind if we join you? We could use the practice. My Goron brothers, I hope you're ready to have a bit of fun today.
There's more battle here. Oh, checkpoint. Hello, hello, Nurix. Oh no, he's hot. Alright, I need to take on Bratton here. Yeah, now we're fighting Gorons. Oh my god, okay. Whoa. So do the Sync Strike here. Alright, whoa, there's a best viewers thing to... Oh, ban it. Well, new objective, defeat Pastos and his allies. Okay. What about, like, the actual head honcho dude? that was there a second ago. Okay. Whoa. You want to chill out, maybe? Oh. A switch is a fine chance to practice fighting as a team. Now, if you let me take over from here. Whoa, he had so many more combos available at the start. Controlling Rauru, the founding king of Hyrule who wields the power of light. Armed with Ultra Hand and a Zonite Spear, this Zonai warrior brings his full might and majesty to bear in the battle against evil. I'm still just at the beginning of the tutorials. It's, I couldn't tell you. Hold on. Oh yeah, I never tried Zelda's just regular heavy. Okay. Something like this. Weak point smash. Okay, Twitch censored your LMAO Morris and it's going to start censoring that. I may have to turn it off. Wait. Bratton is one of the starting guns in Warfare? Did it censor that? How what? So this is my basic combo there. 1, 2. Kind of cool. Okay, weak point smash and Warframe. Okay. I misread that then. Usually some of the best single target stuff is combo 3 in these games. I assume that's going to hold true here too. Ooh, that kind of pulls a bunch of guys together. What about this one? Whoops. Yeah, I kind of bring them together there. Okay. And then this one is something like this. Okay, Flurry Rush. Do what I can to his weak point gauge there as well. Can I weak point smash them both? Can I go up and... Nope. I cannot here. Yeah, I assume that's probably gonna be my best single target damage if the other games are anything to go by. Is that all? Well, at least the hair on all our main trio is fabulous. True. It is certainly something here, huh? He flashed red. Is he getting ready to do a thing? Oh, I was gonna... Whatever. I guess if I get the Flurry Rush, I can't exactly be doing my special attack. Whoa, what was that? What was that about, huh? I got blue Nightshade. I was trying to do my thing, but... Try this. My hand! Big kaboom. Oh, Pastos. I thought his name was something else. I thought his name was something completely different. It came up in that last cutscene. Am I going crazy? Am I losing my mind? Also, I thought it was 2 generic dudos that I was fighting, not the head honcho dude there. There were 2? Maybe this is a generic dudo and he's not the main guy. I don't even know. I don't know. I know that there was 2. Look, it says his name is Agraston, not Paston. They get both of them down. Have you? Then it would say, okay, he was a different dude there, not the main guy. I saw the stash and I thought that he was the main guy there. Alright, press repeatedly. His name was always Pasta. Okay, thanks for joining us today, Agraston. This will be a wonderful learning opportunity for Zelda. As if she doesn't already have a whole bunch of combat experience for her, you say. If anything, we stand to learn a thing or two ourselves. Oop. Well. Beams. The power of the sun in the palm of my hand. Let's try to do Flurry Rush timing on that there. Let's try to do Flurry Rush timing on that there too. I messed it up. Well, then I do this. Boop. None of that for you. Impressive as ever, King Rauru. Just as you were when we used to fight each other in earnest. 2 of you were once rivals. Wah! Big point smash. Like that. Indeed we were. It's only through years of struggle that we forged the trust we share today. Yeah, bosses are gonna take a while in very hard mode, aren't they? I can very clearly see. Okay. What happened to when the spaghetti put on a fake mustache? Or what happened when the spaghetti put on a fake mustache? The ravioli called it an impasta. Did you hear about that Italian guy who died? He passed away. Everdark Libra health bar. Yeah, honestly. I guess that's the way bosses are gonna feel on this difficulty setting, huh? We're just gonna be here for a while with these. Sure seems like. Here, just do that. Blast him in the face. Wonder how much free damage I can get before I have to weak point smash. Like, how long will the game give it to me? Well, there's 3 strings at least. Because that is just a while of free damage, you know? Maybe I should find out for sure on the next one. So I can base my future plays off of that. As another way to optimize damage, you know. Probably not a bad idea. Well, that attack is like the easiest one to dodge ever. I keep doing combo 5 by accident there. Yeah. Finally getting the chance here. Boop. Get blasted. Here, let's find out right now. So. That's 1 string, basically 1.2 strings because I ended the last one. Probably about 3 strings exactly. When you count that I was ending one there. Probably 3 basic combo strings exactly is what I could go for there. But yeah. So place in Tears of the Kingdom linking this game together, but it's spoilery. I mean, there's a place in Tears of the Kingdom linking this place together. They're the same timeline already. It's already linked together. I don't know what this sentence means.
Yes.
This is literally the prequel thing to it, so it's already linked together. But yeah. We got Sekiro next year due to the anime, I think, game schedule pain. Yeah, I mean, it'll depend on, you know, what my schedule's looking like. Like, if it's really cramped, then I'm not gonna then I won't do Sekiro right when the anime's coming out if it's gonna be too much on me. But if there is the chance, yeah, sure, I'd play it around the time that the anime's out. Do that as my Soulsborne for next year. We'll see. See what's going on there. But yeah, finally, most of us forgot about this game being announced, let alone released. Yeah, that's kind of the way it is for a lot of people here. Ancient tree stump, that's the keyword. You just mean like a location that's the same? Not a Korok seed. Because again, isn't that also the case? Like, wouldn't we be at some familiar locations like that one floating island or something? Yeah, I think most people didn't know that this released.
Zelda. Zelda?
King Rauru, thank you for all of your help today.
What's this all of a sudden?
For years, I never knew my own strength. How to use this power, that is. Were my mother still alive, I'm sure I would have learned it from her. Of course, many others were there in her stead, though I never found my answers. But now, discovering the truth here like this, I'm so happy. I hope to be just like you and Queen Sonia one day, protecting my people, giving them a reason to live.
In that case, there's only one thing to do. Find a way to return you to your own era. So you can become the protector your kingdom needs.
Yes.
And whenever you need us, Sonia and I will be here. Our time spent with you, as brief as it's been, has already meant the world to us. Come. We should be getting home.